Yeah, let's get started. Are you guys enjoying the cons? You know, the vibes and the heart and all stuff. Yeah.
Every conference should be on the beach.
Oh yeah.
Agree.
Let's go.
And in summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Who's using like AI like in daily here? I
Daily?
guess
Yeah,
all
for
of them
sure.
nowadays, right? Yeah.
Better be.
Right. Today's topic is building AI that lets the chain think itself. So it's a very specific topic, but like we can dive into the whole topic today and from the all excellent AI professionals. So yeah, let's get started from the introduction. Maybe from Tom. Yeah, please.
Introduction. Sure. Tom Trowbridge, co-founder of Fluence. We are a decentralized compute platform. Live, have customers right now. We've started with CPUs. So that's a very strange word for the AI components. Everyone's thinking about GPUs, which are used to train models. But CPUs are 99% of the world's compute and are very necessary for components of AI, such as running the models, even if not training. But we're between 50 and 80% cheaper than the hyperscalers and are kind of ramping up adoption and revenue right now.
Yeah, let's go.
Hi, my name is Anthony. I'm the head of research and innovation at iExec. We are a confidential computing platform, and we aim to be the trust layer for dependent AI applications. So the way it works is we have developer tools that are very high level, very easy to use, and we wish you can make applications where your users are in control of their data. They can basically say, I allow this application to use this data for this and for that, and only for that. And if I didn't agree, then it's impossible to do anything else with it. And now we're bringing this to AI, so we want to put control into how AI is inference, how AI is trained, and also bring monetization in all of this to make AI more powerful and fair for everyone.
My name is Igor. I'm one of the core developer and contributor mostly of ElizaOS. I'm an AI engineer. I work mostly on Web2 in this moment because the zone is very hot, and I am a robot lover, so I'm really doing what I would like to do when I was a kid.
Nice. We should all be so lucky. I'm Lane. I do research at Near Foundation. Everything at Near is AI focused, right? Near was founded as an AI project in 2018. I'm personally very focused on governance right now, so I'm kind of working at the intersection of AI and governance. I was an Ethereum core developer back in the day, so I've kind of worked up and down the stack, but I'd say I'm also doing what I wanted to do as a kid, so I feel lucky every day.
Want to do governance when I was a kid?
No, AI.
Okay, cool. Yeah, thank you.
Well, AI didn't exist when I was a kid, so I can't say that I'm so old.
When I was a kid, there was no governance.
So yeah, let's go to the topic. Move on to the topic today. So we're gonna start from the general question about AI itself. So at the moment, currently everyone got hyped over the AI and Web3. But why the AI and the Web3 have speaking of the excitement now we have in your opinion, and why now the excitement of AI between the AI and the Web3?
I think, well, the excitement is that AI, year and a half, 2 years ago, hit a tipping point where everybody's using it, and that's only increasing. So AI is, and I think the thing that we're recognizing is that AI is becoming a source of truth in a way that kind of Google search has been historically, but AI is far more compelling and scary as a source of truth because instead of ranking web pages, it gives you an answer. And if you ask, you can have some fun, and any question you ask AI, you can answer, say, answer in one number or answer in one sentence, and then that becomes truth. And when AI becomes truth, everyone wants to manipulate that truth, right? And that's a problem with centralized AI. You have shareholders, you have governments, you have board members, you have activist groups, you have interest groups. Everybody wants to have a say in what truth is. And so the intersection of Web3 comes along, where Web3 is decentralization, right? Where you're free, theoretically, from those influences. And so the intersection of Web3, the decentralization, is really important because without decentralized AI, you effectively, once you go through all the steps, end up in government-controlled AI. That's where you go. Because the bigger companies get, the more influenced they are by governments. They just can't help it, just what happens. So if you don't have a Web3 AI intersection, you end up with government-controlled AI, which is, I think, a world that all of us in crypto are here to try to avoid, and that's one of the real points, I think, of decentralization.
That's right. Yeah. Go ahead, Anthony.
My answer would be, I think that on the one hand, you have blockchain that is very good at sorting out processes, putting rules that are self-executing, that you cannot change, you cannot circumvent, with strong identities. And on the other hand, you have AI, which is basically a big bucket of numbers, a model. You don't really know what's inside. You cannot really know how it was trained. It's really hard to prove how it's being used. It's really hard to understand why it's giving you this answer, not a different answer. And the combination of the two, I think, is we want to go into a world that has more AI, but AI that we understand a little better, AI that we can trust, but not only in the way that I've trusted the answer, but I would trust that it is fair to me in the way my data is being used, in the way that I am being compensated if my data is being used. And so the combination of the two is just very, very obvious to me. And a simpler answer is also, you have two of the biggest buzzwords right now, Web3 and AI. And if you add two big things, you get one bigger thing. So obviously people will get excited. And I guess that's good for all of us. Right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a good point.
I totally agree with Tom with the conversation, but from the AI, like Web 2 and Web 3, we are very interested in the fact that for the first time we have entities that before we didn't have. So these agents, is 2 years old, 3 years old, and now they start to become somehow reliable because before was not even near that. And Web 3 is a financial system, and is an electronic financial system. So it's a system where you don't need API like you usually have with a bank or stuff like this. So the excitement comes also from the fact that you're going to have entity able to pay for you, to do a financial operation for you. And this is really important for the security of the user. So user can be stupid, drunk, in love with this girl, send me a Bitcoin, and you're going to send it to it. And the agent say, no, go to sleep, you're not going to send anything today. This is probably why I am also excited by this. And I even build a wallet like this. They literally, no, we don't send today, ciao.
That's a very good use case.
Yeah, that's good, right?
I think you guys covered most of it. The only thing I would add is that I think AI has a lot to offer crypto. I think crypto also has a lot to offer AI. I really think it's kind of a match made in heaven. The best example in my mind is in order for AI agents to be useful, they have to have agency. Right? We throw this term agent around a lot. In other words, they have to be able to go into the world, go into the marketplace, and actually take actions and do things on our behalf, such as engaging in commerce, transactions, booking flights for us, whatever it might be, purchasing things on our behalf. And cryptocurrency is just the obvious way that's going to happen. I mean, it's internet native money, so it's a match made in heaven.
Oh yeah, guys, thank you for giving your opinion. It's definitely on point. So the next one, I want to go through the technical question. That here you have the special guys, from this, familiar with technical stuff. So the next one is gonna be, in the AI, the industry, and of course Web3, that everything rapidly changing every time. But at the moment, which technology in the AI attracts you? Yeah, this time let's go from the Anthony. Yeah, do you have any idea?
Not really in AI technology per se, but I think convolutional computing in GPUs is really, really a big game changer. Because we need Web3 in AI training. We need to be able to understand how AI is trained. We need to be able to put fair economic models around AI training. We need to be able to implement, for example, crowd training, where you and me, we all contribute pictures of our cats to train models. And we need to understand, how much of this model we contributed. We need to be able to say, I own 3% of that model, or maybe I don't own the model, but I own a revenue from the model. I need to understand 3 years from now, if a model shows a picture of a bit of my cat, why it went there. And GPUs with convolutional computing are really the enabler for that. They're incredibly complex to use, but I think they will really change the game in the next 5 to 6 years, and it's already happening.
see. Yeah, yeah. Speaking of the physical stuff, at the moment it's of course very important. Yeah, maybe like Igor, you have a bit. I heard like you went somewhere, right, for speaking there. I guess you can go ahead.
So, okay. MCP, because for the first time we are moving the possibility that before was only related to JavaScript and TypeScript to any other language. So literally, you can run an MCP that is made on TypeScript on Python now. Python is faster, like really fast. Okay. Also for production, really better, way better, probably. Another thing that very interesting now is actually it was interesting for the last 3 years, but now it becomes so easy to jump in is the SPY. There's another framework exactly like Agno, exactly like Eliza, but it's a framework that lets you create a program, not anymore an agent, a normal agent. And this program, you can optimize it till 97% probability that is really high in the scale, and you can save it in the state. So it means that every time you're going to run that program, you're going to always be 97. So you can trust that whatever happened in the LLM, whatever happened, is going to be always that level of performance. So for the FI, for every single application that need to be reliable, because agents are not reliable, guys, okay? DSPY gonna be a game changer. I'm starting integrating this with a team now, and I'm gonna transform in DSPY all their DeFi ecosystem, and having this kind of performance make you trust your things.
Okay, great point. Yeah, maybe Len, you have the opinion.
I think there's a lot. I mean, I think the thing that comes to my mind first is that we have a bit of a trust issue in AI right now. I'd say both on the training side as well as on the inference side. That the trust model in AI today is kind of just trust me, bro. You know, right? You have to trust, you know, OpenAI, Anthropic, you know, Google, whoever, right? That the model that they say has, you know, 4 billion parameters was actually trained on 4 billion parameters. You have to trust them with respect to like what the training data set was. Even where you have kind of like open source, you don't necessarily have open weights, or even if you have open weights, you don't necessarily have verifiability. So anyway, this is something that keeps me up at night. It's something that we're working on at NEAR, right? The latest generation of GPUs have TEEs, trusted execution environments, inside of them. TEEs are not a new idea. They've been around for at least 10 years on the CPU side, but they're brand new in GPUs. And what this actually allows you to do is to generate a cryptographic proof that a particular computation in the GPU happened faithfully with a particular set of inputs, that there was no data exfiltrated from it. I think that this will help us with verifiable, you touched upon verifiability as well, right? Verifiable model training, so that we actually have proof of what went into the training a model, as well as on the inference side, right? I want to know that, you know, if I hand my cryptographic keys to an agent, that that sensitive information can't leak from the memory of the system. I have a proof that the code executed faithfully, this kind of thing. So this is probably the corner of AI tech that I'm the most excited about right now.
Yeah, great to hear your opinion. Yeah, go for it, Tom.
I guess, I mean, that is super interesting, and the TE has implications across kind of compute overall, right, from training and a whole bunch of things. So that's something that obviously we're working on at Fluence. The one area, though, that I would touch on, which we haven't talked about yet, is it kind of goes a little bit, emphasizes Lane's point, a little bit more about taking action, which is it's less of a technological innovation, but more of a future use, which is agents as consumers, and how AI agents will be, you know, sourcing, provisioning hardware and software for businesses, right? And so as agents become consumers, what does that then mean for the businesses out there, right? I was talking to a market maker yesterday. He has 2 full-time employees that just manage and optimize his Amazon spend. 2 full-time employees, right? So that job is not one I'm long on, right? So you would see agents start to take over, and then the thing about the implications of that, right? The relationship part of those businesses is not going to matter as much. You're going to be focused as an agent, if you're an agent, on price, performance, very very cold evaluation of services, right? The sales point, the guy taking you out to the F1 race, like that's not going to swing it for
agents will be taking other agents out to whatever the AI
exactly.
version of F1 is,
Give me more, hit me with some more compute. So like I don't know, right? So I think but that has implications for maybe Web3 services, which don't have great UIs, don't have great UXs, don't have sales and BD departments, but presumably, if their services are attractive and competitive from the base, from a very base layer kind of effectiveness, agents may actually speed adoption. And so that's something that as kind of a use or as a innovation concept, I think is fascinating. We're a little ways away from that, but I think that is where it goes.
All right, guys, it's great to catch up the, what's going on in the, the area at the moment. But, that there's still a lot to grow in the AI area and the Web3 area. So on the other hand, you guys explain what's your excitement of the AI, but what do you think is the technical bottleneck in terms of AI and the Web3 industry? Maybe let's start from Go if you have any idea.
The real bottleneck now, infrastructure. It's going to be always the infrastructure. In the same moment, New York City woke up and take his matcha latte and open cursor, my cursor. Okay, so there is not enough GPU. We need more GPU. We need better networking also. Ideally, we talk about decentralizing the stuff. We don't have. Okay, when we do decentralized, let's say decentralized, because it's infra-region training of model is a bloodbath. So thinking that you can have a totally decentralized solution, well, we don't have the technology to do it, is like, utopia. So we need faster network that can let the centralized system go faster and then use the same technology to decentralize our system. So the bottleneck is going to be always the infrastructure. There is enough intelligence, enough engineers, enough minds in both Web 2 and Web 3 to create the future, but sometimes, the agent becomes stupid because there's no GPU there. So, infra.
Okay, good point. Yeah, Len, I guess.
I'm going to repeat myself here. I'm going to say verifiability again because I think it's just so critical. And I'll just give you, I'll take the opportunity to cite two really quick examples. I've seen people build really awesome crypto trading bots. All you have to do is give it your keys,
Yeah.
An even better example is Telegram bots. I don't know if you guys have seen these. They're so freaking smart, right? Like, I'm sure like the rest of you, my Telegram is a total disaster. I'm like ghosting people accidentally. I'm missing important messages because I just can't keep up. And so they built these amazing AI bots. All you have to do, because this is the way the Telegram API works, is you have to give it the master key for your Telegram account, right? Which means it can do anything. It can delete things. It can message people. So, and then it gives you a perfect, clean version of your Telegram. I mean, I've seen it. These are really cool, right? But there's a trust element, which I mentioned earlier. I don't trust that if that code, that AI inference, that agent is running on someone else's computer, right? If I can't see the code, if I can't audit it, and again, if it's not running inside something like a TEE and giving me some proof that, again, my data is not leaking out of the system, the code is executing faithfully, et cetera. I just think maybe I'm just a trust minimalist or whatever you want to call it. I really believe in trustless systems. That's what we're here for. So I think that that's a critical missing piece of infrastructure, but I think we're close. We've done tests on the latest GPU TEEs at NEAR, and we're seeing about a 2% performance penalty. 2%. That's incredible. You're getting 98% speed, everything running verifiably. So this technology is going to change everything.
Yeah, sharp point. Yeah, Tom, you have an opinion?
I guess what I would say is that the AI we've seen so far has been dominated by, 3, 4, 5 big companies, right? And that's it. And no startups have the resources, or until very recently, have had the resources to really compete. So this goes a little bit to the infrastructure point, but I guess what I say is that the only thing I'll add to that point is that the launch of several decentralized marketplaces at scale, I think of like a Jensen, I think of others, that allow individual startups, small companies to rent a massive amount of GPUs for a short period of time without needing the capital outlay and the time outlay to build data centers to buy these GPUs. I think that is going to accelerate innovation. And I don't think we've seen the impact of that kind of startup mentality that has access to scale GPUs. Obviously, XAI is an exception in this to some extent, whether you call it a startup or not, but it's new. But if you imagine multiples of those across the world that can use GPUs just when they need them for the training, you have a capital light ecosystem explosion potential, which I think leads to a lot more intelligence out there.
Anthony, you have your opinion for the tech?
It's very hard because everything has been said pretty much. I totally agree on the part of infrastructure that you mentioned, Igor, and I think I would even go further and say, what if we had all of the GPUs that you wanted? Could we even power them? How many hospitals?
We get the nuke.
How many hospitals would we need to unplug to power the GPUs?
And we unplug them, all of them.
and would
Such
this
a
give us-
French
would this give us
mentality.
all-
So
I
French,
know, I
so
know.
French.
You got,
See
you
who's
got me,
French
you
on the
got me.
panel.
You got me. I think another issue that's interesting is Lane mentioned trust, and I think there's also a little bit of engineering because I can program my AI and I can put it in a TE and I get a proof that it's running correctly, and that thing is like managing my wallet and the keys are secure and so on. But did I do it correctly? Can it be corrupted by some inputs? We haven't talked a lot about MCP, but now agents are going to fetch data a little bit from everywhere. And when I hear agent, I'm thinking this thing is autonomous. So if it's not satisfied with the data that it has, it will go and fetch it from somewhere else. From where? And is that website or API corrupted? So can someone make my agent drift somewhere I didn't want it to go? And also, Lane, you talked about booking plane tickets. I don't let humans book my planes.
I'm exactly the same, by the way. Yeah, I don't trust anyone to get it right.
So how would I trust an AI to do it and to manage my funds? So to me, that's this. It's not only the trust in the infrastructure, it's also trust in the AI. And I am not expert enough in AI to be confident in that. And I don't know if many people will have that confidence. And I don't know how we should build it or help them build it.
All right, yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of things that we have to improve in the AI ecosystem. So yeah, let's talk about in the future. Now we are going to develop and all the AI ecosystem all together. But if AI-native blockchain becomes normal to use daily, that in 10 years, what we will have. That's the point that we want to ask. Yeah, maybe this time, let's start from Tom. Yeah.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Yeah,
what will
the
we...
question is, what will we have? That if AI, basically AI native blockchain to become kind of normal to use, kind of daily. Yeah, so that's a bit tricky question. Is I think in the future.
I guess I struggle because if we I think of blockchain as an ordering of transactions. It enables a lot of things, right? So, and the token economics enable a whole number of other applications on top of it, primarily for bootstrapping ecosystems. So I think of AI as sort of orthogonal to that, and AI, blockchain can be useful to AI, right? Blockchain can prove someone is a person. Blockchain can prove data is correct. Blockchain can do those things. And so I think, going a little bit on to what Lane said, blockchain can make AI more trusted, and decentralization also, which may not be synonymous with blockchain to be clear, also makes it more trusted. So more trusted leads to more scale. And so I think that is sort of how I think about it. And I also, with the other point I mentioned earlier, which AI can also help accelerate certain token economic model-based applications given their superiority to traditional businesses as well. So I see very synergistic, but it's not like the same thing, and they're not fused necessarily together. I don't. You guys may have another nuance on that.
Yeah, Anthony, you have your idea?
Help.
Yeah, that's a difficult one, right?
It's a very hard question. Actually, all of your questions are hard,
Sorry?
All of your questions are hard.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm not used to that. I know.
Yeah.
10 years from now, AI and blockchain, let's say that they become pervasive. What does that mean? It could mean several things. I hope what it will mean is that there is a lot of scrutiny in all of AI processes, and that we know, or at least we can go back and check why AI behaved the way they behaved, and who is actually performing AI, and where and how.
What if it's decentralized?
It's the same, right? I should be able to see on the other side of the world that someone captured my image and used it to train something, and that's a dream, probably. So yeah.
If we can go for that, yeah, it's gonna be everything easier. Yeah, Igor, what's your idea in 10 years?
So in 10 years from now, AI gonna be completely mainstream. It's already mainstream, let's say, but we live in a bubble still. My mama use Claude, my papa no. So there's no completely mainstream yet, okay? Probably we're gonna start to see entity that help the user not get scammed, like my wallet, for example, okay? Probably we're gonna have an infrastructure that gonna use the blockchain exactly for what is made for, okay, storage, okay, and another infrastructure they're gonna completely protect the user from any possible attack, from sandwich, from scam, from anything. This will be the goal. So the company, the team that okay, the only problem that have the blockchain, that don't have any problem, is the transaction, because if the token is there, nothing can happen, okay? So the team in this room, probably, they're gonna solve the transaction. You're gonna be the next billion dollar company. Because if you solve the transaction, you're gonna make everybody trust in this technology, and you're gonna have a big inflow of money coming in, because I trust it, okay? In this moment, people don't trust the technology. Even big guys, I don't say the names, tell mom and papa, no, don't buy Bitcoin, buy the ETF. Oh, come on, I'll buy Bitcoin, okay? But it's safe. It's safer to buy the ETF, okay? You can use it. It's a financial system. You can leverage it. I just speak with him, with Tom, about this. So in 10 years from now, we're gonna probably have a more secure system, okay? Way more secure system, I hope, okay? And probably AI gonna be basically everywhere. So yeah, not bad.
Sharp point. Yeah. Yelaine?
I'm going to borrow an example from Near co-founder Ilya. He put it very clearly. I really like this. He says AI is the final interface, right? What does that mean? I'm old enough to remember the internet before the web. You might be as well. Probably very few people in this room who do. But do you remember news groups? Do you remember bulletin boards, right? Do you remember Gopher, things like that?
ICR.
Yeah, exactly. They kind of sucked, you know, and then the web came along and mobile apps came along, and that was like the dominant, you know, UI UX for the internet until now, right? And in the same way that, like, we don't say we're using internet apps or web apps, we just use apps, right? Apps are not going to be AI apps 10 years from now. They're just going to be apps, and I think that the conversational interface is a much more natural interface for humans than pointing and clicking or scrolling with your thumb. I mean, this is what we have today. It's not bad. It's better than what came before. But it seems pretty obvious that AIs can just, like, I mean, maybe it's not final, right? Maybe the final step is we go even a step further. We have the brain-computer interface, you know, the whatever Neuralink thing. But yeah, I think the answer to your question is 10 years from now, all apps are going to be AI apps. We're going to stop calling them AI apps, and it's just going to be conversational, very natural to kind of interface with them.
Yeah, I want to see that future. It's going to be
And we go back to text.
Uh-huh.
We go back to text. So ERC back going to be the best one.
Yeah, okay.
And what about AI scams? Because
Yeah,
AI
that's
then
gonna be
becomes
dangerous.
far more powerful to scam
in
you.
this moment is the second most profitable business on internet.
Yeah, indeed. But yeah.
I'm sure about it.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, anyway, like we are running out of time now. So thank you for having, it was great to hearing from your deep insight, and thank you for staying here. You know, the hack season gonna still continues. So yeah, stay tuned, and it's gonna be so exciting still the next one. Yeah, you guys, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Great,
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.